All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on another video here for SyllaFX. So in this video, I'm doing a recap of the entry zones that I sent out yesterday, December the 11th, to the VIP entry zones group. So we're going to talk about the 4 entry zones, and 2 of them of which price never actually made to the zone, so we didn't actually have trades to be taken on those. And then there were 2 that actually did make it to the zone and have potential trades that you could have taken on those. One of those would have been a loser, and the second one would have been a winner. But we'll go through that and explain exactly what happened and where we would stand after those 2 trades. So let's go ahead and first start off with the euro dollar pair here. Now, just for disclosure, before we get too far into it, these 2 trades that did play out off the 4 entry zones, I did not take those trades myself. These are 2 of the entry zones that if you guys are following the group or following in the VIP entry zones and had potentials for you guys to take those trades yourself. So a lot of these entry zones, when I do send them out, if price does get to them, I try to take them myself depending on how busy I am that day. But just for disclosure, these 2 I did not take myself on my personal account. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first, on the euro dollar pair, this is the screenshot that I sent out for the zone to the group on Discord last night. So as you can see, we were above this 1 hour level here. This is the entry zone that I set up for it, and I was waiting for price or wanting price to come down into that zone and show us rejection candles or rejection wicks to indicate a buy position to go ahead and move up. Now, if you go back to the actual live chart, this is where we were here. So we were right in this area at the time of the screenshot. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again. So you see this long wick, a low here, and then prices in this area. So if you look at that, this is right around in the zone at the time of the screenshot being set up for the entry zone. So price did come down, but it didn't quite make it all the way into the entry zone for me to validate a good buy position on that one. So unfortunately, euro dollar pair didn't actually produce an actual trade that you could have taken to take a buy. So we just move on from that one. That one didn't play out, didn't reach the zone, so you don't take a trade on it. So moving on to the dollar yen, the USD JPY. Let's take a look at the entry zone that I sent out to the group. Okay, so we're looking at this one here. So what we have here is a 1 hour zone or resistance level that we were at the time of the entry zone being set up. So the zone was one here, and I did have a second one as a backup if price actually came back down here, but I was hoping for price to move above these highs here, 1, 2, and 3. Break above this high, come back to retest it, and take a buy position here. So if we jump to the live chart for the dollar yen, we see that we were in this area here. So we have the high, 1, 2, and 3. This is where we were at. So as you can tell, price did make it above that 1 hour resistance level for it to become a support level. Now, if we zoom in though, as you can tell, this would have been the losing trade for the entry zone. So price came above it, came back down to retest. We even got the actual rejection that I was looking for, the nice wick into that zone and close out positive. So this is where the buy entry would have been placed, stop loss of 20 pips and a take profit of 60 pips. Now, unfortunately, as you can tell again, price came all the way down and actually tapped it out for a loss on that one. So lost 20 pips. If you took this trade, you would have lost 20 pips on this one here. If the stop loss was maybe like 30 pips or so, you would have been safe. And as you can tell, price did actually come all the way up to where I was expecting it. It's just my stop loss is pretty tight, and unfortunately this would have been a loser. So we just take that and move on to the next trade. So as far as that losing trade on the on the dollar yen here, so minus 20 pips so far, right? So moving on to the Aussie dollar pair. So let's take a look at the entry zone that I sent out to the group. Would have been this chart here. So what I was looking for, basically, we were actually moving down. See how price kind of wicked down into this entry zone here? This is where I set up for a potential buy position. So we were at this level, waiting for price to come all the way into the entry zone and indicate that it wanted to go ahead and reject and take a buy. Now, if we move into the live chart, though, this is where we were at, right in this area here. So I was hoping for price to come all the way down into this area where the wick went and actually reject off of it to take a buy. Unfortunately, we didn't get that here. It actually halted right in this area here at this previous low here instead of moving all the way down. So price never came down to that entry zone, so we didn't have a valid buy position. So we move on to the next one. No trade on the Aussie dollar for that time. So the last entry zone that I sent out was on the pound dollar. This was the winning trade that we actually had set up for the entry zone. So let's take a look at the screenshot that I sent out to the group yesterday. This one here. So As you can tell, the entry zone is down here at this 1 hour support level where the wick had came all the way down and rejected off of it. So this is exactly where I wanted to see price come back down, show rejection, and then go ahead and take a buy position. So onto the live chart here. So we were in this area here at the time of the screenshot. Yep. So we're kind of close to it already. So price did come down into that zone a couple of times actually. So once it actually came down into here, so unfortunately, this is not one that you would have actually taken right away, because with any of my entry zones that I sent out, I always say to wait for the rejection, wait for confirmation that price wants to move up against that zone for the potential buy, right? So price came all the way down into it. We didn't get the rejection wick right away. Came down into it again. We still didn't get the rejection onto it. So price starts to move away from it. If it never came back down, unfortunately, this would have just been a trade that we didn't actually take because we did not get the rejection candle, right? But as you can see, right into the London session, price wicked down into that zone as I was hoping for, and actually started to create that rejection wick. So if you would have taken the buy position at that wick, you would have had a winner of 30 pips on that one. Stop loss was only 15 pips on that trade here. So this would have been the winner for 30 pips on the pound dollar pair. So as you can see, 4 entry zones that I sent out of the group, 2 didn't actually make it to the price, so we didn't have a trade on those. 2 did make it to the price, the entry zone price level. 1 was a loser for the dollar yen, and the second one was a winner for the pound dollar. So now, as far as the stats, I am going to start keeping track of it this week moving forward. Usually I'm trading 4 standard lots on my trading sizes. And again, these are trades that I did not take this time for these entry zones, but if you are trading these zones based on the entries that I send out to the group, if you would have taken the one for the US dollar yen, that would have been a loser again for 20 pips on that one. So 4 standard lots on that is minus $584. So of course this depends on what trading sizes you guys are taking. This stats is going to be based off my trading sizes that I would take on the position. Unfortunately, lose 584, but on the one winning trade that we had, even though we only have a 50% win rate here, the risk to reward ratio still nets us a profit on the day. So lost 584, won $1,200, right? So up about $600, a little bit more than that based on that risk to reward ratio. 1 loser, 1 winner. So that's why it's very important for you guys to kind of implement your own risk to reward ratio. And if you're trading based off the entry zones that I'm sending out, keep track of the risk to reward ratio, because even if you lose one and you win one, you still end up profitable. That's very important to keep in mind. But outside of that, that's all I have for you guys on the recap for the entry zones that I send out to the group. If you are interested in learning the trading strategies that I use on a daily basis to implement for my trades, you can go to SyllaFX.com and actually get the course there. It's literally just $1 right now for you guys to at least understand how the trading works and the strategies that I use. Outside of that, you can also join the free Discord community where you can ask questions and join other traders and ask questions there. And of course, the VIP entry zone is offered through SyllaFX.com, where I send out the daily entry zones. Usually it's 3 to 6 different entry zones for different currency pairs. If you guys are interested in that, you can visit there and actually join the group there as well. But if you got any questions, comment down below. But I appreciate you guys watching. Good luck trading. Want to become a full-time trader? Start making money trading from home today with the SyllaFX VIP entry zones. Receive multiple trade entry zones every weekday for different currency pairs. You also get access to the full SyllaFX trading course, as well as live trading sessions. Go to SyllaFX.com now and join the VIP entry zones.